Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Gangrene Against the World podcast. I'm Allan Simon. The first game of the Jets season has come to an end, and you can probably hear it in my voice that I was at MetLife Stadium today to see the Jets lose to the Steelers 34-32. There are a lot of threads to pull. And I came back after the game, and after, hanging out with the toddler before putting her to bed, I then wrote out a few notes and things that I thought about just that came to the top of my mind as I react to the week 1 loss. The first thing I will say is I've left a lot of Jets games after a loss, and I've left some brutal losses, and I've left a lot of blowouts and a lot of no-shows. Although that one hurt, when it's all said and done, they lost on a 60-yard kick. They had opportunities to win that game. They probably should have won that game. But there are a lot more positives to take away than negatives. And it hurts to see Aaron Rodgers throw 4 touchdowns. He looked very, very sharp. Overall, the defense looks leaky for the Jets, and you can't commit bad penalties in inopportune times. And also, most importantly, on special teams, you can't put the ball on the ground. That was the difference in this game. One special teams lost a possession and led to quick points, and another, hit a 60-yard field goal and also a deep 50-plus yard field goal as well. So the Jets are 0-1, the Steelers are 1-0. And if you would have told me going into this game, hey, the Jets are going to hold the Steelers to under 300 total yards, the Jets are going to run for almost 200 yards. They're going to win time of possession. Justin Fields is going to look really good. And hey, they're going to score over 30 points. I would have never believed you if you told me the Jets were going to lose that game. And it was an exciting game. It was a really fun game overall. The ending was brutal. And listen, it was 50-50 Steelers-Jets fans. And I was sitting next to a lot of Steelers fans, most of them behaving themselves, a couple knuckleheads, but nothing you wouldn't expect from visiting fans. When the field goal went in, I knew it was over. I just didn't think the Jets, with one timeout left, were going to make a run. Justin Fields could have ran for that first down there. I've watched it since I've been home. It would have been really close. I think he would have been hit right at the first down marker, and the people I've been texting since the game feel the same way. He probably could have ran for it. I don't blame him for throwing it to Garrett Wilson, but when you know you have to clock the ball or use your last timeout, just get the first down. That's all that really matters in that situation. But to me, the Xavier Gipson fumble is the difference maker in this game. And I've been saying it since the end of last year. I've been saying it on all 11 of these podcasts so far that I've done here at Gangrene Against the World. Xavier Gipson cannot be trusted. He cannot be trusted to return the ball. He's put the ball on the ground a bunch. Usually it's on punt returns where he's muffing a catch, but he just doesn't take care of the ball. He's holding the ball in front of his body, and it gets poked away by a third string running back on special teams. And what it did was it took, the Jets start the fourth quarter with a 9-point lead. They give up a touchdown. All right, not great. But then, within 50 seconds of each other, they then score another touchdown. And instead of giving you an opportunity to run the ball again and come back and get points in response, something they did very well today, instead you give them great field position. The defense does not put up much resistance as they go right back on the field. And just like that, you're down. And then, give Justin Fields and the Jets credit. They come right back and they score again. And this leads to the second biggest issue the Jets had today. The first being Gibson's fumble, which to me was the difference of this game. The second was Aaron Glenn's decision to go for 2 when he did, and the play calling from the team on those 2 plays. Aaron Glenn is coming from the Dan Campbell, roll the dice, go for everything, go for 4th down on your own side of the field. And I knew once it went to the 1-yard line after a penalty in which, the Steelers line up illegally when Nick Folk misses an extra point, which is crazy. If he makes the kick, they probably decline it. You don't want to take the points off the board. But because he missed it, they go for 2, and they line up in shotgun. And it doesn't make any sense. If you're at the 1-yard line, push it with Justin Fields or give it to Braylon Allen running downhill, lined up behind Justin Fields. To go in shotgun ruins any of the momentum you have going towards the line of scrimmage. They get stuffed. They don't get it. So because you're now chasing points, and whenever you don't get points after a touchdown, it always comes back to haunt you. The Jets did not convert 2 of them. They lose by 2 points. This is how it works in the NFL. We see it time and time again. On the second one, It was happening in my end zone, so I'm right in the corner of that end zone where the pass was thrown to Garrett Wilson. I turn to the people next to me and say, this is a corner route to Garrett Wilson. And if I know that, it means the Steelers know that. And sure enough, that ball is thrown in an area where there's 3 defenders there, and they break up the pass. So now you go away without points again, and you're chasing it. And Aaron Rodgers, to his credit, gets Boswell into what is Boswell field goal range, which is 60 yards. And I was thinking about all the games in which Rodgers had drives in the fourth quarter that didn't turn into points, or, against Denver in the rain last year where Zuerlein misses a field goal to win it from deep. This time he does it, and Boswell kicks only the second 60-yard field goal in the history against the Jets. And, that's the difference of the game, too. So the 2-point conversion calls I thought were questionable. I mean, the second one you have to go for. It was just a bad play call. The first one, I don't know if you need to so early in the game. It puts you behind the 8 ball, whereas you try to chase points after that. That was an issue. I expect this is how Aaron Glenn is going to coach, though, so I expect more of those types of plays. But in the future, let's go ahead and just do a tush-push with Justin Fields. Some of the other negatives on what I think was an overall positive game for the Jets, at least offensively. Defensively, there's some serious issues. Obviously, Stevens looks vulnerable as the second cornerback. He drops an interception. He was falling down. It would have been a really tough interception, but it was in his hands, and you have to bring that in. He then gets beat a couple times on that last drive. Overall, not a great showing for him, while he's playing on the opposite side of Sauce Gardner, who has a great day. Sauce Gardner was everywhere. He tackled really well. He only allowed 1 reception, and it was the crazy pinball catch that DK Metcalf catches after it bounces off him, bounces off, I think, Jonnu Smith, and he's on the ground, doesn't even know where the ball is. It's on his arm, and he catches it. Sauce Gardner had a great day, and as good as he was, Stevens was bad. But where they are most vulnerable right now is safety. And Tony Adams needs to at least be sharing time with Malachi Moore at this point. Adams in the first quarter whiffs on a tackle against DK Metcalf, leads to a big gain. And overall, he was letting people behind him a lot. So that was definitely a problem on defense. I thought Quincy and, Sherwood played really well. Quincy obviously has a bad 15-yard penalty. You can't have those kinds of penalties on the sideline, but it is what it is. He's an aggressive guy. Plays like that are going to happen. But Sherwood was really good at the point of attack. The Jets have 4 sacks. Will McDonald looked great today. He had 2 sacks. Quinnen starts things off with the sack against Rodgers, and the place goes nuts. There was positives on this defense, for a team that gave up 34 points. Really it should have been 27. They give up a touchdown because of a special teams gaffe. The other issue, where we talked a lot about the 3-headed monster of this running game and Isaiah Davis being a nice change of pace guy, and then you have Braylon Allen to thump it, and then, of course, Breece Hall leads the way. Outside of Breece Hall and Justin Fields, there was nothing going on the ground. Braylon Allen did have an amazing touchdown. He marches for 8 yards, and he gets the pile pushed behind him, and falls into the end zone. That one carry represented 8 of his 9 yards. He was 6 carries for 9 yards today. He did not look good. He's chopping his feet, looking for a hole, and he's not attacking the line of scrimmage, and got hit behind the line of scrimmage a ton. We didn't really see anything from Isaiah Davis today, but Breece Hall was phenomenal. Breece Hall had a great game. He is the wide receiver 2 on this team. He had 2 catches to go along with a few other guys who had 2 catches, all trailing Garrett Wilson. 145 total yards, 5.6 yards per carry. He looked phenomenal. And the other positives that you have on the offense is Justin Fields. He looked great. He looked comfortable. He had some zips across the middle of the field between defenders, looked really sharp. Obviously, the nice 33-yard touchdown pass to Garrett Wilson puts it in the perfect spot. For that touchdown. He runs for 2 touchdowns. The bootleg was beautiful. That is on my end zone as well. And some of us realized he had the ball and some of us didn't. So you hear some Steelers fans cheering, thinking they stopped him at the 1-yard line, as the rest of us see him dancing into the end zone. And I won't lie, when he scored that touchdown, I thought I let myself believe the Jets were going to win that game. But we know how it goes from there. Other stats to look at: Mason Taylor, just a 1 catch. Jeremy Ruckert seems to be the tight end 1 right now. Would love to see them mix Taylor in more against the Bills, but so far, after 1 game, Ruckert looked pretty good. He blocked pretty well and hauled in a few catches, or a couple catches as well. And then let's go to the other side of the ball. Aaron Rodgers had some annoying comments after the game about beating the Jets, whatever. I'm so glad this storyline is done. I am so glad that now this was week 1. They played each other. It's over, and we can move on with our lives. But Aaron Rodgers looked really good. He had 4 touchdowns, 244 yards. He takes sacks, but that is sometimes the right play, and he took 4 sacks today. 22 of 30 and then doesn't turn the ball over. That is what an efficient quarterback does. And for the Steelers, we were talking Jarrett Bailey earlier this week previewing the game, and we all said pound the under. They're under 38.5 for sure. Well, they had combined 38 points at halftime. When it's all said and done, the Steelers put up enough points to win the game. All told, I feel pretty good after this game. I wish they would have pulled it off. It's hard to lose games when really you should have won them, and it's mistakes that led to you losing the game. But you lose on a 60-yard field goal, at MetLife Stadium, where it's hard to convert long field goals. It happened to be a windless day today, which was uncommon for considering the amount of rain that there was leading up to the game. It was a clean shot for Boswell, and he connected well. That's how it goes sometimes. You play a really strong game, but one other team gets one more possession with enough time, and the Jets, because they had to burn a couple timeouts, don't really get a true shot to go down the field and have Nick Folk try a long field goal to win on their end. And overall, the Jets are 0-1, and next week is going to be great at MetLife Stadium. Just like there was a lot of Steelers fans, there's going to be a lot of Bills fans. There's always a lot of Bills fans at these games. But I feel really good that the Jets offense showed up, and you'd expect under Glenn this defense is going to get better. Is there a way for the Jets to find a win against the Bills or against the Bucs these next 2 games, so then when you're playing Miami on Monday Night Football, a team that got blown out by the Colts today, can you finish the first 4 games at 2-2? I think that would be really, really positive. I also need to tell a story about an event that happened or an incident that happened with me at the game today. Some people know this story already, and my wife and my father-in-law got to witness it. It was a great tailgate. The rain was brutal in the beginning, but pork roll, egg, and cheeses that you would die for off the grill to start things off. I grilled some bacon up. We then do sausage and peppers, and we're living. I enjoy 1 sip of Sunshine beer before the game. I am in no way intoxicated. I just have the 1 beer. We go to our bar behind Section 109. We go say hi to our friend John, the bartender. I get myself, like a gentleman, a nice brown beverage on some ice, and we make our way to our seats. We have nice seats. I'm very lucky to have, really great tickets for the Jets. So usually when things are happening before the game and there's warm-ups, there's usually people in our row, which is totally fine. 5 people kind of leave our row as I go to step in. And I haven't been in MetLife Stadium, since February or since January or December, whatever it was. And I go to step off the stairs to go into my section, and I miss a step, and I bottom out as hard as anyone can fall. I can hear everyone around me as I land on the seats on my side and then fall forward into the row in front of me and get wedged underneath the seats and the lip of the row. And I hear everyone's being, oh my goodness, are you okay? Are you okay? All I could think about is 1, I need to get up really quickly to let everyone know that I am fine, although I am going to be bruised up tomorrow. And 2, I can't believe I just wasted a $20 drink at MetLife Stadium or whatever it was and spilled it over a very nice young man in front of me who did not mind that I just spilled alcohol over him, but was very concerned about my well-being. I do want to note that no one helped me up. I think because I'm just a big guy and I fall hard, I think everyone was a little shook when it happened. But listen, before the game even started, I was the first injury. I was the first casualty. I was probable to return, and I came right back. I think I had a strong performance as a fan today. I did a lot of cheering, a lot of standing. I went back and forth with some Steelers fans, so I don't think the fall, really hurt my performance as a fan. But as I get older, falling like that, it's brutal. I think the most embarrassing part was that I was stone cold sober, and I fell like a very drunk man into the row. It was troubling, to say the least, but I made it through okay. And when I'm at the Bills games next week, I may just, take my time going down the stairs and entering my row. So, want to share that little story with you all because it was certainly part of my game day experience today. Overall, the Jets are 0-1 after losing to the Steelers. It is not the end of the world. There's a lot of positives to take from this game. We'll be looking at, what happened around the league as we get through the week this week, and then we'll, of course, preview week 2, which will be here before we know it. Jets-Bills at MetLife Stadium on Sunday at 1 p.m. This has been episode 11 of the Gangrene Against the World podcast. I'm Allan Simon. Thank you so much for listening.